A few years ago, I made a review of the Rev-9 Coilovers after having them on the BRZ for a few months, which turned out to be one of the more popular videos on the channel. A year later, I ended up crashing that car, driving it like an idiot during the winter. It has now been over a year since owning the new car, and I've met lots of people who ended up watching that first review and decided to buy them for themselves. Everybody has liked them, but before we review them and say what I like, I want to mention a couple of bad things that you should be aware of. The features and material used to make these are not top of the line. Using Great Value, the Walmart brand, as a quick example, these are the Great Value of coilovers, if that makes sense. They're just a cheaper end version of what is already out there, which doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but of course, there are brands that do release junk and give other low-cost items a bad name, like REV9 Coilovers as a very quick example, a cheap product that nobody should touch. And my point in saying that is that there's good cheap products and then there's bad cheap products. The last two cons about these, which I know sounds like I'm being negative, but I want people to know the bad stuff before we actually go over the good stuff. And those two things are that the damping and spring rate are not the best. They 100% do offer a stiff ride, and you can of course adjust the damping on the coilovers, which is 32 clicks, but comparing it to something like BC Racing coilovers, the maximum that you can go with the Rev-9 just does not feel the same as BC coilovers. So you're able to get a much stiffer ride with the more expensive ones. You can resolve this by tightening the springs and compressing them more, but that of course requires more time and more work from you, which is why the BC coilovers cost more money. They're just easier to use. Now, what I actually like about these coilovers. As always, the links to them will be down in the description if anybody would like to go and purchase them. First is the adjustability with the coilovers. You can adjust the height of your car to whatever it is that you want. If you want to slam it on the ground and rip your exhaust or front bumper off the car every single time you hit a bump, then you can put your car 1 centimeter off of the ground. Or if you want to lift the car a foot off of the ground and turn it into some sort of a rally off-road monster truck hybrid type of thing, then you can feel free to do that as well. But jokes aside, the adjustability with these are great. Coilover wrenches in general are a little bit of a pain in the butt to use. They're designed the way they are for a reason, so the wrenches do what all of the other ones do, but of course they are annoying to use, which is why some people resort to air suspension. As far as my opinion on the ride stiffness, the spring rate, and the damping levels, I have no issue spending a little bit of extra time stiffening the suspension myself by compressing the spring more. So for me, this is not that big of a deal. But if all you want to do is throw coilovers on your car, lower it, go get an alignment, and you feel that that is actually worth an extra $600 to $700 to just be on your way, then yes, of course BC coilovers are better and have much easier to use features, but they are over twice the amount of money. The way the Rev-9 coilovers look is just a personal preference. I think that the green is cool, but I do wish there was other color options. Just having color choice would be nice. So I've had these on the new car for a little bit over a year, and on the last car, I also had them on the car a little bit over a year. And both cars, I never had any issues with them whatsoever. I do live in New Hampshire with tons of salt and sand on the roads as well year round, and there isn't like any noticeable damage or anything like that, but I don't think that 1 year is enough time to actually show signs of wear and tear. Overall, I recommend these. If you just want to lower your car and get a certain look, these are great. But if you plan on taking your car to the track and needing to adjust the coilovers a lot, then no, these are definitely not for you. It really comes down to what you're looking for and what you want to get out of them. If you plan on racing your car, then no, these are definitely not for you. If you just want to make your car look cool, then these are great. But yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.